What do we mean by that? Well, look at the record. Good, 4 wins. Bad, 4 losses. Indifferent, 4 ties. Goals for, goals against, the same. Shots per game, that's down for the Flyers by a few. Shots against per game, that's up 3 or 4. The power play down 2%. The penalty killing down 3%. Of course, the power play for the Flyers has been struggling all year long. Anyway, Gary, I guess they refer to these pretty much as the dog days of the season. You're about 3/4 of the way through. And what do the Flyers have to do to get that bark back?
The bark? Bite somebody?
The last 2 with a bit of a knee and a hamstring problem. There's what he has done in the games played for the Flyers so far this season. You know, you talk about Paul Coffey, and he has said repeatedly, Jim, that one of the things over his career that he has not had to endure was any kind of serious leg injuries. How is his health, and what kind of impact?
That's something that I'm sure has Paul Coffey a little bit concerned. As to how he is now, he says he feels good. He has the ability to push off. Flyers want to see him at 100% because certainly he can add a lot to their offense. He gives them that dimension of speed from the back line, and of course should help the power play as well. So hopefully Paul Coffey is 100% and ready to go.
Well, it was a week ago last Tuesday that Garth Snow took to the Philadelphia net and put on quite a show, not only in the net, but out of the net as well. Garth Snow has played fantastic hockey here on home ice. He's unbeaten in his last 9 starts. There in his 10 games that he's played for Philadelphia here at home, 3-1-3. The goals against impressive. He's got the shutout to his credit, but it was that game, Gary, against Buffalo, where he came out of the net, helped out his teammates, got involved in an all-out brawl on the ice, and then stopped 3 breakaways after that. It's just about the best you've seen Garth Snow ever play.
No doubt about that. He got a point for the Philadelphia Flyers. One thing about Garth Snow, he's because of his work at backup, is a very difficult job to do. You don't know when you're going to play. I mean, you could go 2 weeks without seeing the ice, and so the importance for Garth or any other backup is to work extremely hard in practice. Now, he's his own worst enemy at times. You know, he's very critical and puts a lot of pressure on himself to do well, and when he has a bad game, I mean, he goes to the drawing board. He has Hextall critique him and talk about what adjustments he has to make. But when you look at what he has done for the Philadelphia Flyers, I'm sure everybody's very happy with his goaltending, and he has just been able to do the job for the hockey club.
You know, one of the things Terry Murray might be writing on the blackboard in the Flyer dressing room is respect your opponent tonight. The Ottawa Senators are still in the playoff chase. It's amazing. 48 points in 54 games. Well, 54 game totals in franchise history. They've never had more than 22 points. So they have, well, more than doubled their point output here this year. They're having a fantastic year. I've got to turn to you. Why?
I'll tell you what, it's a bunch of young players that are starting to mature. That's a major reason why. But to give you some idea of how far they've come, and Ken gave you the numbers, but they've already set a club record for points, and yet they're still not in the playoff race right now. If the playoffs were to happen today, they wouldn't make the playoffs, and yet we have, what, 25 games or so to go. I mean, that's how bad they've been in their first 4 years. But this year, much improved, and one of the major reasons has been the maturation of Alexei Yashin. Here's a guy who a lot of people have said will be a star in this league for a long time. Hasn't quite lived up to that billing in his first couple of years, but this year he is really developing. You have to go all the way back to December the 7th for the last time that Yashin went 3 straight games without a goal. He's being consistent in terms of getting on the board, and when you talk to the people who follow this team, they say he can dominate games. He can actually dominate games. He is the big guy. He says when he goes, this team becomes a definite playoff caliber team. So if he goes tonight, the Flyers will have their hands full.
They have built their team the old-fashioned way through the draft with a lot of high #1 picks, that's for sure. It's the Flyers and Ottawa Senators on PRISM tonight, and right here from the Core State Center. Well, the last time they played, the only time they played, the Flyers skated away with a 4-3 victory and then went on a 17-game unbeaten streak. Another streak tonight? Perhaps. Stay with us all.
For 6 weeks, they have played the front-runners, Atlantic Division leaders, the best in the East. Though on top, they were not out of reach. The Chase Group has closed the gap. The Philadelphia Flyers may have lost their edge, but all should still beware their touch. What's this? It's mid-February, and Ottawa is in the playoff hunt. They have built their team the old-fashioned way through the draft. No other team has this many first-rounders. Past administrations have been cast aside. These Senators are politicking for a postseason.
And welcome everybody inside the Core State Center, where the Ottawa Senators are in town for their first of 2 Philadelphia appearances. The Flyers, of course, will play host. Hi, everybody.
Gary, this team is improving.
Oh, very definitely so. They're getting wonderful coaching, and also there's a young, enthusiastic hockey club that everybody is playing hard. And when you're close to a playoff spot, you know, you can smell it. Of course, Alfredsson has been a big surprise for this team. He is a guy that just breeds excitement every time he's on the ice. He's always around that net, very good at handling the puck. So that's one of the key guys that you have to pay a lot of attention to.
Absolutely. The Senators now have some talent, folks. Should be a good game. Flyers have won their last 5 against the Senators, but all but the game they beat them against this year were, of course, the old Senators. Now the new Senators. Tough opponent for the Flyers coming up.
Snow you're going to get. Garth Snow with 6 wins this year. One of them against Ottawa, made 14 saves in a 4-3 win back on November 30th in Ottawa. Opposed by Ron Tugnut, now with his 4th team in the NHL, though, in 5 career games against Philadelphia. He is winless. He is 0-4-1, looking to even his record this season with a win here tonight. Tugnut and Snow, the goaltenders, in this one here at the Core State Center tonight. Let's go upstairs. Gary Dornhoefer. Dorney, what are the Chrysler keys to the game?
Yeah, when the Flyers are running that 17th unbeaten streak, they played solid defense. You want to get back to that, eliminate good scoring chances. Yashin, another key player of the Ottawa Senators. Watch him, folks. He is outstanding. The Howard Chuck line has to get rolling, has to get some goals. For the last 4 games, they have not been able to dent the twine, so perhaps tonight will be the night.